Okay, hi. I'm DaPieGuy. I made the Indiana Jones this thing. The not this thing, well, I guess this thing, but I meant where is it? This thing. And I'm just going to be talking about how I made it. And yeah, basically one little note, I don't have time to edit a YouTube video this week. I have so many exams, so many random things happening, like just so much busy work, and I'm working on so many big YouTube projects, like, maybe not quite this scale because this was like a multi-month thing, but like some really huge, awesome, crazy videos are coming out. So that's why last week's video was very short, and this week's video is also not going to be edited, but I think this is really interesting how I made this whole movie. And by the way, just this thumbnail. By the way, I mean you kind of get the idea. But this is everybody who plays a main part in the movie, or at least like a semi main part. Everyone who's in it for at least like a couple seconds, who's like a friend of mine. Um, and then there's me, of course, in the middle. So anyway, I'm gonna be literally watching through the entire Indiana Jones movie that I made, and telling you guys exactly how I made it and what it's all about. I mean, you guys know what it's all about, but just like how I did each thing and some interesting stuff that happened and all that. I was gonna do this in a live stream. I just literally don't have time. So maybe in a live stream I'll sit down and throw in a couple extra details and hang out, maybe talk with some other people who made it. Either way, if this type of video isn't your thing, completely fair. That's fair enough. I just don't have time for a huge crazy project this week. That being said, next week hopefully I will have the big super awesome project out that I've been working on for a while now. So please subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. And let's get started. So basically, wanted to recreate Indiana Jones. Fun fact: this was supposed to be a 7-minute long video at most. My goal was like 5 to 7 minutes, and then I just started coming up with ideas. And then by the time it hit winter break of just this past winter break, I had so many ideas. I started writing down a storyboard. And that storyboard turned into a mini script, which turned into multiple scenes. And then those multiple scenes, I'd film them, and they would become bigger things. And then more people would want to join. And then at one point, I realized I just want to have all of my friends in one YouTube video. And then that turned out to be my goal with this. So instead of it being a very short video, it turned into this huge, huge project, way out of proportion, bigger than it should have been. And I did all right. I got 183 views at least at the time of recording this, which is good. Honestly, I kind of hoped for a little bit more because I've done so much time into this. But at the same time, I was thinking about it afterwards, and I'm just so glad I have a project with not almost all of my friends from college in the whole video with me. It's really special to me and all them. So anyway, that's enough yapping out of me from before we even start. Let's get started. So this is all B-roll right here that we
World-renowned
got.
treasure hunter Indiana Jones has been on many adventures in his time.
Hopefully the audio isn't
but
coming
no one
back
ever
through
knew about
my
Jones's
headphones
first
into the
treasure hunting
microphone.
expedition. Until now.
What would Indiana Jones do? So,
I don't know.
of course, Tristan is behind the camera. He's also the narrator for the entire thing. And since I wanted everyone in the video, I even had a little part at the end for Tristan, which if you've seen the video, you know what I'm talking about. I'm also going to go through how I edited this, so this might take a long time. This video is 39 minutes long. But so far, this is all just random B-roll, random stuff I came up with, just running around. This is what the original video was supposed to be, like just this. So, I mean, not really much to say. My favorite shots, by the way, and you'll see this throughout the whole thing, are the ones where they're just random people minding their own business, and then I'm just doing my thing. Like, you'll see all the time there's people in the background. I'll point out a couple of my favorite examples as we go through, but, I'm just doing random things Indiana Jones would probably do. I've never actually watched a full Indiana Jones movie all the way through, so I think that's some charm. This...
Don't keep it
I don't know.
in the bloopers, but you can get a great screenshot.
So what's funny is that my friend Matt, who's been editing a couple videos for me, Matt edited the bloopers for me, and he kept that in the bloopers, even though it's in the actual thing, but like not even like a blooper of it, literally just the actual thing, which I find so funny. And yeah, I'm just going to random people around campus asking where the treasure is.
So if you find treasure, let me know.
Yes, if I was vlogging, but yeah, this part I almost got really hurt. Right, let's see, I go back, I retrieve my hat. Right here, I almost missed this jump. You can't really tell. I kind of nailed it, but One thing I did is I went through and I added in captions for the entire thing. I like hand wrote all of them because the captions were super wrong. So I'll actually keep the captions on while I do this. And let me make sure I'm actually positioned at a good spot on the screen. Yeah, okay, I am. Yeah, so I'll keep the captions on down here. I did go through and literally type all of them out. But yeah, this is just random ideas that Tristan and I came up with. Just random B-roll footage here. And then, of course, I go to Wilkes University. I'll point out people in the video as they come up. So this is Aiden. I was never actually super good friends with him. I don't know who this is, by the way. But this is Aiden. I was never super good friends with him until relatively recently we started, hanging out and stuff. But he's pretty popular on campus. A lot of people know him. So it was cool to have him in the video.
Hey, girl, you want to see something cool?
Oh my god.
Okay, so this is not a random person. This is my friend Julia, who I also know through my friend Gabby. Gabby Moore, who played the librarian, which we'll get to. But I asked Julia if I could record something with her in it, and then she was like, yeah, but she didn't realize it was already recording there, and then that's why she reacted that way, which I just found really funny. Also in the bloopers, you see that when I roll my hat a couple times, I would actually catch it. I cut all of those times out of this, so it didn't look cool. Like, I intentionally cut out the parts where I succeeded at rolling my hat across my chest and catching it. Just so it would look more ridiculous.
I'm the real Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah.
And then I love Tristan's camera work. Tristan was... Oh, he was the main guy for most of this.
There's a treasure here?
So this versus this are two completely different rooms. They're in the same building, but... And neither of them is actually the dining hall. I wanted to film this part in the dining hall, which we call the sub. It stands for, like, the student union building or something like that. But it was just too loud, and there was too much music playing and stuff. So instead, this was filmed in the downstairs little, like, food court area. And then...
Did you hear that there's a treasure here?
And then that audio is actually just added into this scene. And then, as you can see, Logan right here and Luke right here. They're actually the next floor up, but I just tried to make it look like it was all in one room. And then this part took so long. I don't know why Matt didn't include more of this in the bloopers, because I thought this was hilarious. But I don't have the footage anymore for the bloopers. It was just too much. I had to get rid of it. I couldn't keep it. I cannot hold that much like footage, storage space, whatever. So anyway, this whole interaction here, Logan kept messing up, but not messing up in like a way we could improv over it and stuff. Messing up because like he would just crack up every time he would say or do anything, or he would just like completely forget a line and just stare blankly at the camera. And honestly, I feel like I should have included some of that. I told them to just talk a little bit. And this is actually the first scene I think that I came up with. No. This is the second scene I came up with. I'll get to what the actual first scene that I thought of was in a little bit here. But yeah, we literally had somebody standing off, like, out of frame, holding up cue cards and holding out a phone with, like, enlarged text and just random stuff like that for Logan so that Logan would remember his lines, and it was so funny.
Not that loud. We don't want anyone else to hear, man.
I know, but like I can get so many V-Bucks from that. I can get so many Fortnite skins.
I just told them to start listing stuff they could buy with a bunch of money.
And possibly 1 bars of butter.
We can go for cows.
They just kind of improv this whole part.
We can be farmers.
The cow thing is improv. The Fortnite thing is improv. The Shnikes is improv. I do need to get a wind mic. This is something that annoys me. You'll hear this throughout the whole thing. I don't have a windshield for my microphone for my camera, and I didn't even think about that until well afterwards. But I tried editing the audio as best I could. It sounds a lot better than it did in the original recording. But anyway, they're talking, and then did I hear you boys talking about a treasure? This is the room where they hold events, by the way, at my campus.
Yeah, there's a treasure.
But it comes with an impossible riddle.
This part I think is really funny.
Riddle, you say?
I love that part.
Tell me more.
Okay, so then this next part here, we didn't even think of this. I'm pretty sure Luke just thought of this. He just said as a joke one time, like, and I'm here too, and then we just kept it.
It's impossible, man. You can't figure it out.
Try me.
I'm here too.
I just thought it was so funny.
You want the riddle? Well, here it is.
And then I, of course, wrote the riddle.
The treasure is what you seek. room 102B of the basement of the building. You know, the building across the street from us. Like
This line is the one that took
building
forever.
that's
This
across
took
the
like
street,
100
the
tries. I'm not
building,
even
right?
kidding.
I'm pretty sure. Like you take a left from here and then a right.
Like,
and then a straight from
Logan
there, yeah.
trying to remember
On your
this
left,
and read it off was so
that's where you
difficult.
must sneak.
Okay, so something about the riddle also, on top of like how difficult it was for Logan to read it off, because that was so funny. I wish we had more footage of that, or like more footage before we got rid of all the like deleted scenes and stuff. But something else about that is Tristan was really advocating to rewrite the riddle. He wanted to rewrite it, but he was trying to make it into an actual riddle, and not like a hard one or anything, just one that like very obviously leads to like room 102B, which is not a real room, by the way. I don't think that's called that. I just made that up. But like, you know, that's where in the movie, like, I'm trying to get to room 102B. So Tristan was trying to come up with like things that rhymed and like full on like sentences and like lines and all this stuff. And I was like, Tristan, the point is that it's supposed to be as stupid as possible. Like, and he was like, yeah, but it's stupid, but it's still like a riddle. And I said, no, but the riddle is supposed to just not be a riddle. And then we did like a take of his, I think, but I just kept mine because I liked mine the best. Anyway, so it was that. That scene took like
The riddle
2
was
hours.
difficult for sure.
I made this part on Pixlr, by the way, the whole map,
Indiana
which you'll see
Jones is
later.
smart.
I
He
love that I
figured
kept the
it out
cursor.
and ventured off to find room 102B.
Originally, I recorded this. Okay, this is gonna sound fake. Originally, I recorded it without the cursor there. Like, I did it in such a way where there was no cursor, and then I thought it would be a lot funnier if I just had the cursor drag me over. So I re-recorded the map parts with the cursor. By the way, all the names of locations, other than I guess room 102B, for the most part, are real. Like the Dart Center, the Dorothy Dixon Dart Center, that is the building on campus where all of the like performances and musicals and stuff are held. That's where the choir and the band practice and all this stuff. So, yeah, I actually like when I say I went to these places, like I actually did.
And here we have Indiana Jones facing the most dangerous trap at all.
Traffic. And then, I mean, this is just like, again, B-roll footage of me running around campus. Also, I don't know why I'm pointing this out. When you go left here, you get to the stage, but then you see me over at the stairs, which I only get to if I would have come forward through the door, like through the next glass door instead of going left there. But you would never know that. So, anyway, busting through the door. And then this is where the ominous music starts playing. By the way, I don't think I included what the titles of the songs were. The Indiana Jones song that I used is, I think it was like Indiana Jones Orchestral Epic version or something, which I have a bone to pick. I have a bone to pick because if you look in the description, you'll see that I got copyright claimed for the Indiana Jones theme. But if you go to the actual video, the creator said in the description that you're allowed to use it, you know, whenever you want in your own videos. So I disputed it, but then the creator of this denied my dispute and said that I still have to share revenue, which, you know, fair enough, he made it, or, you know, he, she, they, whoever made it, but at the same time, like, don't put that disclaimer that, like, you're not gonna charge people if you, like, are, I guess. Anyway, a little bone to pick there. Then this song, the one that's kind of ominous in the background, it's called, like, In the Fog or Afterlife or one of those two, something creepy like that. It might be In the Fog, I'm not sure. And then, so this is the black box room. I actually had a class here. I'll let you know where I had classes, but...
No, this is right. I mean, this has to be the place, but...
Oh, okay, so the way we did this, the light switches over here, these are the ones that dim. So I don't just dim it in editing, we actually dimmed the room in real life because I thought it would make the lighting effect better. You can't really see that well, but right over here, I don't even think it's that little thing. I think he's like all the way hidden. Casper is hidden in his cloak over here by the lights, ready to dim them for when the camera passes.
I mean, this has to be the place, but...
And then keep this box up here in mind, just so you know. I'll get to that in a second. Just keep that box in mind up there. And then we're doing a little circle around me. Tristan's walking around me in a circle. By the way, we filmed this on a completely different day than we filmed the intro thing with all the like random B-roll footage, which again was another different day than we filmed the part with Luke and Logan. Pretty much every scene you see here is a different day, just because there was no way I could get everybody together at the same time. As you can see, the room dims around me, and then I edit in the dim. And what's cool is when I dimmed this, I actually completely changed the camera angle, so you can see that it's pretty close to me. And then when it dims out here, and then the lights come on, the camera is way further away. One thing I love about this, obviously the sound effect is edited in, the music is edited in, but the lights are actually like exactly how we did them. Tristan was controlling the lights from in that box that I said before. So the camera was set up, I think I forgot the tripod that day. So the camera was set up on like the stool or something, some stool or something like that. And Tristan controlled the lights. And then as you saw in the bloopers, if you guys watched the bloopers, this part took a gazillion tries because Casper kept messing up his line, or I would laugh or something. But this is Casper. By the way, the cloak was also Tristan's idea. A little whoosh sound effect there. I tried making this whole thing like really ridiculous lines, like I gatekeep, and on weekends I gaslight and girl boss. I just like a lot of this is just stuff I find funny, which probably no one else on earth finds that funny. But then this line.
Who gave you that line?
My brain!
That is a quote from Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. Scott's talking to somebody, and I think the character goes that he's talking to, she goes, I'd love to reschedule, honey, but I just cashed my last rain check or something like that. And then I think Scott says something like, oh, where'd you come up with that one? And then the girl he's talking to goes, my brain! And so I just thought that was really funny, so I told Casper to do that. So that's just stolen from Scott Pilgrim.
Where's the treasure?
Sorry, Indiana. Your treasure is in another castle.
Got the Mario coin ding sound there. The original line for this was, sorry, Indiana, but your treasure isn't here. And then I think it was Tristan's idea. Or it was either Tristan or Casper. One of them had the idea of saying, your treasure is in another castle, like Mario. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of funny. I'll add that in. And then I was debating on adding the coin sound effect, and because I was just being lazy. And finally, that was like one of the last edits I did, was adding that coin sound effect right there, which I'm glad I did it. Another whoosh sound. You'll notice that there are a lot of whoosh sounds. Also, these quote unquote coordinates, that's a chance card from Monopoly, or a chance or whatever.
Huh? You really want these coordinates? Okay, play me for them.
What game?
A game so ungodly and tedious.
Uh-huh.
No one has ever gotten to the end.
You're on.
And then of course the joke is that we're playing Monopoly because no one has ever gotten to the end of Monopoly, and that's funny, and that's the joke. So yeah, we have the camera mounted for this part. We just
Avenue?
and people were asking me.
You dog!
People were asking me. No, we didn't actually sit through a whole game of Monopoly. We only recorded the segments that I wanted to record. We did not actually sit there and play Monopoly. So if you were wondering, no, we did not do that.
Boom, baby, let's go. I got Boardwalk. I have both utilities. Shut up!
This song is, I don't remember at all what this song is. I don't know. Shazam it if you're interested. But I just looked up, like, fast-paced or upbeat, like, jazz music or something. I found this, I think.
Free parking? Yeah, I'll take it. You can't do that. That's not in the rules. Yes, it is. Look. It's not. I'm looking at it. You can't take the money at free parking. Yeah, house rules. You can't
This
take
line's
all
good.
of my houses. House rules. Why is there a hotel on Go?
Oh, I bought it last round.
You can't buy a hotel on Go.
4,000.
I think some of these were Casper's ideas, by the way, too.
Whatever.
And
You
then
can't go backwards.
that was Casper's
Oh,
idea,
yeah,
I
I'll
think.
buy a hotel on chance.
You can't buy a hotel on chance. What?
One thing I love about this whole movie, I call it a movie. One thing I love about this whole video is how quickly the tone changes, or like the whole atmosphere, the mood changes. Because we go from like this ominous, like dark, creepy thing to like this kind of goofy interaction between us to this really upbeat, like goofy, like lighthearted game of Monopoly, kind of high stakes. And then, you know, from this it goes to a really fast-paced chase scene into a stealth scene into, you know, whatever, so...
Good luck, Guardian. By the way, game's over if you get a 7.
And if you'll notice here, we actually we filmed this until we rolled to get a 7. That's a 6 and a 1. We did actually keep doing that scene until we got a 7.
Thank you. I'll be taking these.
And then
I'll be taking the coordinates too. But wait, Indiana, I still have more money.
So that's actually Tristan's wallet and car keys, which is funny, because Casper didn't have anything on him, so we used Tristan's.
Are those your car keys? Yes.
And then rolling again, and he does, I think, stay true to what the dice actually say, if anyone were to check, just for fun.
You cheated! You cheated!
Oh.
I never cheat and I never lose!
Okay, so that's another quote that I ripped from somewhere. I love that quote. In the web series Video Game High School, there's this character called The Law, and it's all about, like, people playing video games as, like, instead of, like, football or things like that, like, the main, like, focus is video games. Anyway, in the beginning of, I think, Season 2, The Law is on trial for, cheating or something, like cheating in a video game. And he goes on TV and he goes, I fired my legal team, I ripped through my allegations or something like that, and whatever, and then he yells through the thing, he goes, I never cheat and I never lose! Which, actually, this is wrong. This should say, I never cheat and I never lose, not I never cheated, I never lose, so just ignore that. But anyway, this took forever to clean up. That took, I think we literally lost a bunch of pieces. Then this was...
Get back here, Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark 25th Anniversary Collector's Edition!
That was either Casper or Tristan's idea to say that, because the original line was, get back here, Jones! And then one of them came up with that, and I was like, that's really funny. So we kept that in. Oh, one other thing. When I run out this door here...
I never cheat and I never lose!
So when I run out this door here, right there, I actually stop, because obviously Casper has to catch up. And then when he busts through the door and I start running, I was just stopped right there by the door, because we were going to have a shot of him busting through the door and me running when he did that, but then we couldn't figure out how to do that, and it was getting late, and I didn't want to. So then we're running away, I'm running away, and then Caleb, oh, I accidentally muted it. Caleb comes out of the women's restroom just because, again, I thought that was funny. So another little goofy thing that happens. That's Caleb Flannery.
Come on! That's Indiana Jones and he has the coordinates! What are you talking about?
So basically, Caleb's character is... One thing I tried to do, I tried to take whoever my friends were in real life and just amplify their personalities. So, like, Casper is this really, like, upbeat, excitable guy, and so I made him, like, the one who's chasing me down. Or, like, for instance, Caleb is a really goofy guy, he's really funny, and so, he was already wearing a Wilkes hat. And, okay, actually, one thing about this scene, the original whole scene was supposed to be with just me and this other guy, Jack, who will come up later. And then Jack, like, suddenly wasn't available anymore, so Casper said he was available. But then I asked Caleb if he was available before I knew Casper was available, and then Caleb said that he wasn't available, but Casper was. So we were going to film the scene with just Casper, and I had the whole thing planned out for just him, until Caleb heard us because we were so loud in the basement, and he happened to just get done with his work in that same building, so he came down to see what we were doing, and then he just joined us for the rest of the scene, which I think is really funny. But anyway, I tried to amplify their personalities instead of just completely changing them. So he was already wearing a Wilkes hat and all that, so I thought it'd be really funny if his entire personality was like just school spirit Wilkes. So
For Wilkes University! Yeah, go Colonel! Go Colonel!
And you'll notice he does lose his hat here at some point.
I think he went that way. Go Wilkes University Cardinals!
And then this is still in that same basement. And then I like this little fake out here. I like this little fake out where it's like, oh, you know, the chase scene is over because, like, I didn't want to actually film a whole thing. But no, I did want to film a whole thing. I like this little fake out because then at least this whole bigger chase scene. Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark 25th Anniversary Collector's Edition. And as you can see, he did actually forget his hat. And that was not intentional. I realized that when rewatching the footage. And I was like, oh, that's a perfect excuse for why they're coming back into the room. So anyway, they're running through, This chase scene took place across, I think, 3 separate buildings. Even though in the video we made it look like one building. So this part is still in the same building as everything else. And then when they turn the corner, this part happens in the building Stark, which is the engineering building. And this is like the very basement of there, because I needed a really long, straight hallway for them to run down as though they're chasing me. Oh, one other thing about this. Literally because of Caleb's character here, that's one of the whole reasons why I decided to make this like a mix between like college life and Indiana Jones. Because originally it was just going to be like, oh, I'm Indiana Jones, I just happen to be at a college campus. But then that's what turned this into like, how can I take elements from Indiana Jones and turn them into something that relates to my college campus? Which is why, like, when I need to study something or figure out how to solve the coordinates, I go to the library. Or when I need to participate in that game show, it happens at the Dorothy Dixon Dart Center on top of that stage and all that. So, yeah, so that was pretty cool. By the way, this is back in Dart. Me trying to close the door. And then this is back in Stark. That's in Dart. That's in Stark. And if it wasn't obvious, Colonel's the Colonel, that's our Wilkes mascot, is the Colonel. So that's why he's yelling "Go Colonels." And then this is of course back in Dart.
The stairs.
This is a soft cover of How Deep Is Your Love. Also right here, if you look, I'm not wearing a watch, which I just think is kind of funny. But then the footage actually loops, but in reverse. So if you follow my exact movements, you'll see I didn't actually stand in the... Oh, I don't want to freeze in that frame. I didn't stand long enough in the elevator to get the shot I wanted, I noticed when I was editing. So instead of going back and refilming that, I just looped the footage, but in reverse. Also, of course, the elevator music is edited in. How Deep Is Your Love? It's some cover. And then the ding is edited in. All these sound effects are edited in, pretty much. Now this is back in Stark. But what's interesting is, like, I wasn't super worried about continuity. I could have, but at the same time, like, the whole video is just supposed to be goofy and ridiculous and stupid, so who cares? But we are back in the basement, even though I did press to go up or something, I think. Anyway, so this takes place back in Stark.
Jones! And Wilkes, you will!
Also, I know the elevator and the stairs don't line up with how they were in the previous shot, another continuity error. And the "At Wilkes You Will" line is one of my favorite lines, because that's actually like our school slogan, is "At Wilkes You Will," which, you know, I have my own opinions about. But, and then this is also in the basement of Stark, the engineering building.
Corner him. He's got to be in this room somewhere. Go, Wilkes!
In this part, this was my solution of how to get it to where there was only me and one other person instead of me versus 2. This is like a last-minute addition scene.
Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
And then...
Oh, hi, Ryan. I didn't know you went here.
Yeah, Caleb is a theater major, if it wasn't obvious. He's really funny. And I thought that was a really funny way to, you know, have him disappear from the plot. And then... So originally, I didn't have the parts planned with Caleb, so I ran out of this elevator. So you can still see the elevator closing. I didn't cut it out, because who cares? But that's why it's closing here, because originally I run out, I pass the room, and then Casper runs out. Jones! We run through the door. This took a couple tries. And then I needed a way to end the chase scene, and luckily Tristan knows a lot about Indiana Jones, whereas I don't. By the way, this whole costume is Tristan's costume, with the exception of the pants, which I got from, the pants and the shoes, I think, which I got from the Colonel closet or something. That's just a place that gives out free clothes if you need it. And so I was like, oh, that works. But the pants were way too big on me, so I actually needed to take Tristan's belt, like, from him that he was actually wearing to hold them up, or they would fall down, which was funny. I'm good at sliding down railings. So I'm so glad Tristan knows a lot about Indiana Jones, because I didn't know how to end the chase scene. luckily Tristan told me that at some point in the Indiana Jones franchise, I guess some character is unable to leave the temple or something. So if Jones can leave the temple, then he's safe. Which is why. Oh, this is the sub. Which, as I said in the beginning, was actually where we filmed the Luke and Logan part. So, yeah, and then that took a couple tries, but... And then Tristan explains, unable to leave his temple.
Was forced to let Jones go. But
had to decode the coordinates.
Would prove to be tricky.
This
So
scene
Jones ventured
was
to the
crazy.
Wilkes University Farley Library to try to find some answers.
Okay, so as you can see, a little foreshadowing here at the emergency button. And then I originally thought this scene would be cool and had this plan for the chase scene, and then just didn't have time to film it. And then I already filmed the next scene after this, which is the one with the frat bro. And then I had the idea for this scene well afterwards, and this is one of the last scenes. I think this is maybe the second to last or third to last scene of the entire thing that I filmed. This is my friend Lexi.
Maybe you can help me, actually.
She's pretty cool.
I got these coordinates. I'm trying to figure out where they lead, but they're in some, like, ancient hieroglyphics language. I don't know, can you look at them?
So Lexi couldn't remember what the words were, so on my phone is the big words.
Equator, times it by the photosynthesis, cellular respiration, you know, stuff like that.
Right.
Okay.
And then boom. Decoded.
Thank
And
you so much for helping me
I
decode
also
this
love
coordinates. I literally could not have...
I love parts like this that are like intentional continuity errors. Like she doesn't write down anything, but she pulls out a piece of paper that says they're decoded, which I just find really funny.
The coordinates. I literally could not have...
This is Gabby more than I was talking about before.
Noisy, can we keep the volume to a minimum?
Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize.
By the way, in a lot of these scenes, the people don't know each other. Like Casper and Caleb didn't know who each other were. I don't think. Lexi and Gabby didn't know who each other were. And it's like that for a lot of this. So pretty much everybody here didn't know each other, with the exception of like a lot of them knew like a couple people, but no one, with the exception of like one or two people, knew everybody. So it was really cool to keep in mind. I filmed this over the course of months, so whenever people were free, I would like carve out time in my own schedule, cancel whatever plans I had, just to make sure I could film the scene with all of my friends. So I think that was pretty cool.
I said quiet.
We were in a rush. We had to film this whole scene here, this whole library escape scene, in like 2 hours.
You ticked me off.
And Gabby is so funny here, by the way. I think she did such a good job with her character. And then Lexi is so funny here too. Lexi is hilarious here. Just because like she takes her role so seriously. Her facial expressions are so funny. And of course the red tint is edited in. This music, by the way, is my own remix of the hotel escape sequence of the video game Escape the Backrooms. I played that on Steam with my buddy Luke, not a Luke that's in this video, if you remember. And yeah, so anyway, that's where I got this music from, and I thought it just fit so perfectly with the alarm sound and stuff.
What is going on?
The library nerds can only get us if we make noise.
What does that mean?
Do you want to live?
Yeah?
Then shut up.
I never noticed this before. You can see right over here. Right over here. So this is my cameraman, but this is one of the only scenes of the entire thing. This might be the only scene. No. This is like one of the only scenes where Tristan was not the cameraman. Tristan was busy this day. Leo was the cameraman for this. Leo, if you remember, he was in the Thanksgiving prank video. He was the cameraman for the gingerbread house competition video. He's been in a couple others. He's gonna be in a bunch more. Because I've been filming a bunch of crazy stuff that I just haven't been able to upload yet because I need to edit it. But yeah, so he's the cameraman here, which I just think it's funny that you can kind of see him over here. But she comes up in the movie later anyway.
Yeah?
Then shut up.
I love this scene. I love everything about this scene. So then we hide under the table, and then I really wanted to, not in like a mean way, I really wanted to dumb down a lot of the scenes. Because I wanted to make it so very clear what was going on. So, you know, first Lexi says, like, the library nerds can only get us if we make noise. Do you want to live? Shut up. So it's clear that, like, we have to, like, stealthily escape the library. But then, to add to that...
We're in the clear. Shh.
You can't say a word. The librarian can hear everything.
I love that line too, because that's also just a great way to transition over. Also, both lines that Gabby yells are, like, edited in. We film those afterwards. We record the audio for those afterwards, which you can pretty easily tell, I think, when you rewatch it. But on your first watch, I think we actually did a pretty good job editing that. Well, I did. I was the only editor for this whole thing, by the way. So no talking in the library.
Work study students, get them!
Work study students.
That might be my favorite tiny part of the whole thing, just because it looks so good. So over here,
Work study students.
so that is Issa, the one who runs over to grab me. And again, all the credits are at the end. Issa and Lexi are really good friends. And of course, Lexi doesn't actually punch Issa. We had to record this a couple times until it looked really good. And then, of course, I added in the whoosh. And then that looks so real. The punch looks so real.
Work study students.
So anyway, I was so happy how that turned out.
I heard you get paid to help the librarian.
Also, just a little whoosh, the foo of when the zoom out.
I heard you get paid to help the librarian.
Just, I added so many sound effects just to make this so, like, over the top, so extra. And, of course, our school has a work-study program, and just, like, I'm sure probably almost every school does. And so I thought it'd be fun to give a little homage to that. So then, this is random B-roll of walking around the library, and crawling around the library, and all this stuff. And we're filming on all different floors. Again, I love the parts of random people who don't know what's happening. Like, for instance, excuse me, this guy here. Just like, we filmed this while people are just working on stuff. I think that's so funny.
There's gotta be another way out.
So this, right here, is Jocelyn. And I thought that turned out so good. I love Jocelyn's fall here, by the way. I think that's so funny.
There's gotta be another way out.
She's just like... Oh, and of course, Lexi doesn't actually hit Jocelyn either. Lexi and Jocelyn didn't know each other before this. She whacks Jocelyn, and then Jocelyn just does, like, the most, like, cross-eyed, deadpan fall of all time, which I just think is so funny. That's what the library actually looks like on the outside. Here's some more B-roll people walking around. Again, just... a lot of this is like B-roll that I added in to fill for time because I wanted the music to sync up a lot, and that's what I do for a lot of videos too. I try not adding too much filler just because, you know, I want to keep it interesting, but at the same time, I like when the music builds up and then right when the beat drops, like something interesting happens. So I think that adds a lot to it. I work really hard to make sure that happens.
I know they're here somewhere.
Also, this room that you're about to see me and Lexi pop out of is where we filmed the do you want to live? Yeah, then shut up. We filmed it right in front of that screen. There's us. And I tried being as creative as I could with this whole space, because I didn't want to just be, we sneak around, and then they're looking for us, and we sneak around, they look for us, which is why I have so many little scenes like this, of, like, within the glass, and, like, all the random B-roll of walking around, but then, like, you'll see a library cart part, and stuff like that. Like, the punches and all that, I just think are so good. Right here, so Issa grabs me, and then, so actually, the person pushing the library cart, I think, was Lexi? It might have been somebody else. It might have been Gabby. Either way, I don't remember who was exactly pushing it there. And then as I run away, we act like my friend Zach, who was literally, I called Zach, I was like, dude, I really want you to be in this movie because I want, like, all of my friends to be in it. And he was like, okay, I can, but I only have, like, 5 minutes. So we filmed this on a different day. We literally went out of our way to go to the library just to film, not even this part, just only the cut right here.
Oh, sorry.
Which I feel like that adds so much because I just think it's so funny. Like, right here you expect, like, oh, like, she just falls, like, okay, it's just another random thing. But the fact that, like, I feel like this just adds such a nice human touch to it of, like, someone was actually pushing the car and was like, oh, my bad. Because, like, it just makes it feel so much more like we're actually at a college campus and not on a movie set, which I love.
Oh, sorry.
I think it adds so much charm. I love the camera work, by the way, by both Tristan and Leo. So this is all Leo's camera work here at the library escape part. But, like, the perfect zoom in over here to the zoom out and then running backwards to follow her through.
I'll hold them back. Just go.
So we had to time this. It took a couple tries. I mean, most of this took a couple tries.
Indiana Jones is mine.
I love the cinematic parts like that. Like, obviously, continuity-wise, there's no reason why Gabby the librarian would stop and say that to a fourth wall camera. But I just love the idea that, like, she's giving almost like a confessional or something. Like, oh yeah, he's mine. Or, like, I'm gonna get him, you know, whatever. Like, she takes time out of her chasing me.
Indiana Jones is mine.
I think that's so funny. Of course, that was super easy to edit. It's just a green screen effect. And then Lexi comes in last minute as like a saving grace. Gives me the coordinates because that's what I came for.
Go!
And then of course Lexi leaves first because good guys live, bad guys get exploded in the library. Oh, you might not have noticed. Also with the music, I actually had the pitch go up. When it got, I won't go back and replay it, but you can, if you heard it, I edited it so the pitch would go up to make it seem more like frantic and exciting, just because I thought that would be good. I like how it turned out. So this right here, where as you can see, Issa's trapped in there and then it explodes. I didn't even have a plan to film that part. What actually ended up happening was, I think the first blooper you'll see if you watch the blooper video is I try running out of the door, but like the door got like stuck when I ran out. And so I like just whacked into the door. I couldn't even get out. By the way, for almost all this, for a lot of this at least, I have a Bluetooth microphone on and I'm the only one who has that. So that's why you're able to hear me a lot of the time. But why some of the other audio is sort of muffled. So anyway, when the door got stuck for me in real life, I was like, wouldn't it be funny if you could see someone else get stuck behind the door and then they explode in the library? Oh, and I was going to take all this time to like meticulously edit the library, like exploding into pieces and stuff. And then I was like, no, it would just be funnier if I put a green screen effect over it. Like, it'd be so much less work, but it'd also just be so much funnier, I think. Because it just comes out of nowhere.
1, 0.
Like, you don't know what's going to happen when the timer hits 0, but you don't expect the library to explode.
With all of his former foes.
I should check to make sure this is still recording, by the way. Okay. Okay, no, it is. We're good. But, yeah, so, that was the most chaotic thing to film. This is the actual dorm building I live in. It's called University Towers. This was my actual room last semester.
Yo, trick or treat, little bro.
This scene was the hardest to film, I think, because of how funny it was. That's Ethan.
Coordinates?
And he was playing a frat bro.
Goofy hat, goofy coordinates.
I heard there's a treasure here, and I'm supposed to get the map for the treasure here.
You're looking at him, bro. I'm the treasure right here.
Ethan came up with pretty much every line that he had.
Okay, I'm clearly dealing with...
I'm gonna, by the way, say what he says here, because I think I remember it. Because you can hear that he's still talking, but you can't really make it out that well.
At him, bro. I'm the treasure right here.
He says something along the lines of, I thought it was a little weird how there were trick-or-treaters at a college.
But weaknesses are that
you don't even... It's not even October.
Oh, wait.
It's bulking season.
That's the treasure. That's the end goal I'm looking for. I just gotta slip past this guy, but...
My dad could beat your dad in a fight.
Okay.
The other day, my mom took my freaking board, and it was so lame, just like your outfit.
He'll just keep talking.
So that's kind of what he says. By the way, I think he probably is the funniest character in this, just because of like how he talks in this. I think he did a great job.
So many emails, but
we didn't even warn me about you, bro. I quote that all the time. Oh, so this right here, I didn't even think about this until afterwards. The fact that Casper was there, because this is a total a total continuity error that I didn't even intend for. Because of course Casper was the guardian chasing me, but I think Tristan did a really good job with the camera work here. Instead of like trying to ignore it or just act like it didn't happen, he just like went with it, which I love when stuff like that happens. You'll see when I grab it, he just zooms in on Casper, which I find so funny that he just zooms in on Casper there.
Oh shoot, my bad, bro. My bad.
Yeah, because Casper came over for some reason. This was I think we filmed this the same day that we filmed the escape or the chase scene with Casper.
They didn't warn me about your glasses.
And of course, Ethan is just randomly improving his lines a lot.
But it actually means that. Wait. My treasure!
That part we filmed a gazillion times. The RA at one point came out and was like, "Hey, are you guys good?" And we were like, "Yeah, we're just filming a movie." And she thought it was like the funniest thing ever. So,
I'm the treasure. I don't care.
get him, bring him to the ledge. And then right after this is a different day. Between this right here
I don't care.
and
bring him to the ledge.
This, it's a completely different day that we filmed this.
Ledge?
The ledge. Okay, so this is my friend Adam, and Adam, spoiler alert, he is one of the main characters in an upcoming video I have. It's not a scripted video really, but he's like one of the main people in an upcoming video I'm working on. I'm working on a video, Total Drama College, where I recreated Total Drama Island, except, like, my friends were the real contestants, and I asked Adam if he would be chef, because Adam, and I was obviously Chris, the main host, and because Adam is, like, this huge built guy, and, of course, like I said, I'm trying to amplify people's personalities, so, like, Adam being this really built guy who, like, works out at the gym all the time, I thought it would be perfect for, like, me to fight him. So,
What's going on?
that's what we did.
I don't know. I'm just doing my job, sir.
Where are we going?
My frat boss said you're going to the ledge. By the way, notice how far away I am from the door between when I was just standing at the door talking with the frat bro and now where I am with the Batman, Adam Butterwick ledge guy. I should have kept in his line where he goes the pledge ledge, because I thought that was really funny, but I just didn't keep it in for some reason. You hit ground for me? Oh, also, we're on floor 5, but then when the elevator opens again, we're on floor 5 again, if you notice. But anyway, so this is Caleb. Caleb will come up again later. I didn't even have a scene planned for him until way later, but, I wanted him to be in it again since he was only in it for like a split second here.
Okay.
I think everyone delivered all their lines so well. Tristan filmed that with people actually in the elevator with us. I yell some
You're not gonna get away with this.
random thing.
You're the fourth guy I've texted tonight.
Okay, so this part,
You're in for, pal. No idea.
funny little context there. I forget who's driving. I think it might have been Tristan. No, I think maybe Jack was driving. Jack, I found out, doesn't actually have a license, or I guess he can't drive. He's never driven. The first time he's ever been behind the steering wheel was right then when he drove my van, and he was terrified, so much so that he asked if someone else could drive to do the other shots. So I don't remember if him driving was the shot that made it in or not. But Jack is the one I was talking about before, was supposed to be in the chase scene and ended up being in the fight
What are you doing
scene.
in the middle of the road? The road?
And he graduated by now.
What are you talking about?
And that's my car also, or my family's van.
So it's his fault.
By the way, over here, I think you can tell right around here somewhere, here or sometime soon, somebody is in the window watching us, which I just find really funny.
Well, now I want to throw him off too. Let's go.
Guys, we can talk about this.
Okay, so I'm gonna kind of skip through a little bit, just because I've already been recording this for 48 minutes, which is longer than this video. Okay, so basically this part was pretty simple. I mean, nothing really crazy happened other than what you see here and what you saw in the bloopers. I had the plan for this whole thing, and then we just kind of executed it. Nothing really crazy happened here. I think that Adam and Jack both did a terrific job with their roles and stuff. You can also see how quickly it changes between day and night over here. Which I just find so funny. Also, the trunk is still open. And then I gave him the car so I don't have to worry about it. I made sure to make Jack a bad guy in the end, like a liar who's actually a prison escapee, so his death wasn't, like, tragic.
Having narrowly escaped with his life, Indiana Jones...
Okay, the whole reason I did this whole, like, nap thing right here was literally because I wanted Puggy and Lizard, my two stuffed animals, in the YouTube video. Because, I don't know, I just thought it'd be funny, so...
Decided to take a well-deserved rest. The next
I like
day,
the me
he ventured
sound
out
effect.
to show the world his treasure.
Oh man, it's been
Okay,
so long.
so-
I'm so glad I finally found the treasure.
Okay, so this is, well, she used to be my lab partner in real life for like every lab we had. We don't have any labs together anymore. But she's actually a TA in the one lab I have now. But anyway, so this is Anna. Anna has been my lab partner since like almost the beginning of college. Just because we always happen to be in the same classes and stuff. And so one thing she always does is she yells at me for being stupid, or she calls me terrible names, or she curses just very, very blatantly at me all the time, nonstop. And I think it comes from a place of we're friends. I like to believe it does. And I mean, I think it shows because she agreed to be in this video. But she thought this whole concept was stupid. I was bugging her about this, and she was like, fine, I'll do it, just because I really wanted her to be in the video. Which is why here, she is my actual lab partner in this. And she curses me all the time. I like how the whole screen gets blurry when she curses too. I like that part instead of just her mouth.
No, I even know what it's on, dude. It's the lab. You're so. Okay, well, hey, you know what? Joke's on you, because Indiana Jones...
You can tell how much she loved, you can see the smile on her face, how much she loved just being able to curse at me on the camera. Oh, and I told her, I was like, I said, by the way, like, you don't have to actually say, like, the curse words if you don't want to, because I'm just going to edit them out, so you can be like, what the heck is wrong with you or whatever, and she was like, she said, why would I give up an opportunity to swear at you? And I was like, okay, so yeah, she is actually just doing that.
You are not Indiana Jones. I'm literally Indiana Jones. This is the...
Okay, so then anyway, skipping through, she knocks the egg down, she calls me stupid, and there's a map inside the egg, and the map I drew like literally 2 minutes prior.
I think I'm here.
As you can
the
see,
treasure's here.
it's just a really
okay, now it's just
random, you can't really tell, it's just like random goofy doodles. But
following this map to the treasure.
And this was, I think, on the same day we filmed this.
It appears your shoe is untied.
So this right here is Caleb Gething, and I love how like the dramatic music comes in, and it's like da 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 da, and he goes, "It appears that your shoe is untied." And by the way, he like originally I think he delivered the line as like, "Oh, excuse me, Indiana Jones, I think your shoe's untied," or something like that. And I was like, no, you have to sound more robotic with it. I was like, you have to sound more like a goofball with it.
Excuse
like
me,
a ridiculous tone.
Your shoe is untied.
Excuse me, Indiana Jones, but it appears that your shoe is untied. I love how I delivered that. Ha ha.
You took the map?
And not only do I have your map, but I also have your girlfriend.
No! Why would you do this?
So, of course, like I said, this is Caleb Gething. This is Gabby Vogel. And Caleb and Gabby had no idea who each other were at this point, by the way. Which, again, it's like that for a lot of this. I just think it's so funny that everyone did such a good job interacting with each other when they didn't know who the people were. And I thought it was also funny how Gabby just agreed to let me put a bag over her head or a pillowcase or something and have some random stranger pull her into frame and take it off. I just thought that was really funny.
Take it in, because this is the last time you'll see her face.
And Gabby, I think, is hilarious.
What do you mean? You're literally together.
Yeah, and Gabby was, and I guess to my knowledge still is, dating one of my previous roommates. So I thought it'd be really funny if the scene was like, because in every Indiana Jones movie there's like a girl or something. But I didn't really have someone to play that girl role, and, you know, it's just, like, a gap I needed filled. But at the same time, I didn't want to have this whole, like, subplot of, like, oh, I'm trying to save the girl and, you know, whatever. So I thought it'd be really funny to include this little bit here, and I thought it also is true to, like, the Wilkes thing, if, like, you know, my roommate sees this, which I'm sure, you know, he might have seen it by now, or, like, my former roommate, if he saw this, and, you know, it's like the shock of like, oh, your girlfriend. He's like, what? And then, you know, it just comes out and we're like, no, I've never seen this person before. I love this whole exchange here, by the way, too. I think this is so funny.
Physics 1 with Dr. Lucen.
Physics 1 with Dr. Lucen is a real class with a real professor that I had.
No.
Sociology, freshman year.
Dr. Murphy.
No, Rollins.
2 other real professors at Wilkes.
All right.
Bingo. Also, bingo is like the big thing that Wilkes does. Is like they're always so like to say about, oh, we're doing bingo, we're doing bingo. It's like this big thing. So I thought I'll give a little reference to bingo in here.
It doesn't matter. 'Cause I'm taking her with me, and we are getting on the next flight
to wherever this X is.
Are you
gonna help me?
I have to get to that airport. I don't have the budget for a plane scene. I gotta stop them.
So, of course, in every Indiana Jones movie, there's some, like, airplane scene or something. So, a little reference to that right here. But anyway, I needed a reason why I couldn't catch up to them. And so I made it so they ran like this. Which I think is so funny. I think is so funny. Yeah, this part is, by the way, filmed on the Greenway.
I need another option.
Horses for rent, horses for sale. Here's Leo. And again, if you've seen my channel anytime recently, you probably know who Leo is. But Leo, he told me the other day that because of the Indiana Jones thing, plus the last, like, 2 videos that he's been in that haven't come out, like, publicly yet, he has gotten, like, kind of popular on campus. Like, a bunch of people who didn't know him before, like, know who he is and say hi to him and stuff and talk with him and, you know, all this stuff. I just think it's so cool. I just think that's so funny how that happened. But anyway, yeah, Leo recorded the library chase scene, if you remember.
Sorry, man.
We're all out.
You're all out.
And then he gives me this. I love how I deliver the nothing I can do line.
Help me out here. You've got to have one.
And the wind was terrible. I was going to keep in more voice lines from Leo, but the wind was just so bad this day I couldn't keep any in without it sounding way worse than it already does. But I think the way that I edited it is fine for what I had to work with. And then he picks up the horse head on a stick. And then I contemplate. Again, I love when just random people are in the background just watching me do all this. And then just the most ridiculous chase scene you've ever witnessed goes on. And it's like so goofy and stupid. I just think it's so funny. Yeah, and then I'm gonna skip ahead to this part here. Release the girl, whatever her name is, and give me my treasure map back.
Give me my treasure map back.
I love how dramatic that is.
So badly. Duel me for them.
And of course, that's my Master Sword from Legend of Zelda, for my Link costume. And you already know, I had to recreate, like, one of the most iconic scenes ever from Indiana Jones. I could not make this video in good faith without doing that. So, of course, he swings the sword around in true to Indiana Jones fashion. I use a ping pong gun, and I knock him down with it. And then I give Gabby the horse, and then he says the thing. Which, I didn't even, like, realize he was going to say this when he said it.
Is that a ping pong ball?
With this final piece.
And then, so I thought that was really funny. I think he just came up with that, or Tristan came up with that. Either way, so I left that in. I thought it was really funny. As you can see here is the Pixlr, basically the free version of Photoshop, how I did the map. I thought it was funny to just keep it in like this. But, yeah, basically what I did, I mean, just to make the map a quick, teeny tiny rundown. All of these are, like, all these lines are different lines, so they're different shapes, which is why you see over here shape 56, because there's, like, just so many of these. These are all actual pictures of everything other than the ledge. This is just some random generic picture of a parking garage, because I couldn't get a good picture of the actual parking garage. The X is just a random thing I found online. The background is interesting because I took 2 maps, like 2 map templates, and I made them both, I made, one of them a little more transparent so you can see through it. So it's all that. And then you see the Wilkes University logo, or emblem or whatever right here, which I just think is so cool. It's just a nice little detail that I really liked. And of course, just like, I mean, you can see how I did the rest of this, but I just thought it was a cool little thing.
Indiana Jones was finally able to follow the map to find the long-lost treasure of Wilkes University.
And I also love this map because, like, of course I'm following a map and stuff. It's just cool to be able to visualize all this and see, like, oh, yeah, I remember we did this whole adventure. This is where all the places we've been. Like, oh, okay, we're here now. I just think that's a cool little aspect. Again, more B-roll footage.
Wow, you're so cool.
This right here is the building I lived in first year. It's called Sturtevant Hall. And I wanted to include that just because I thought it was a nice little reference that not a lot of people know of. Just like, oh yeah, I actually used to live in this building right here. So, pretty cool.
But where's the...
Oh yeah, so this part here, is entirely a voiceover because I recorded it with audio and then I got back to my dorm without checking it for some reason because I'm dumb or something. And then the wind was so bad you literally couldn't make out what I was saying. So I had to do a voiceover for this whole section here, which
I
is
followed the map all the way
alright.
here.
You know, it turned out fine.
But where's the...
One thing I did also, which was kind of smart, I found light background noise of just like outdoors, and I put it over top of this with the music there, so any little like
I followed
sound
the map all the way here.
in the background is
But where's
actually
the-
edited in. There was no, like, you hear kind of like the wind gusting a little bit, like that's completely edited in, which I just think is an interesting little detail.
It's the treasure. Oh,
It's on a weighted pressure plate system.
I think it's on a weighted
And then-
pressure plate
I love this joke coming up. I came up with this. I thought this was so
cable
funny.
system.
I think it is.
What do I have that? No, that's not heavy enough.
And I don't think I did a great job with the voiceover, but at the same time, like, it's just a goofy thing, whatever. And of course, I just grabbed the camera out of thin air because, like, you know, I just breaking the fourth wall. I love jokes like that. I think it's so funny. It just works so perfectly. Oh, this treasure chest is actually Tristan's also. It's actually some, like, Dungeons & Dragons creature or something like that. Something where, like, you open it up, it has teeth or something. I don't know. But that was his. He let me use that, so that was really nice. And then edited in, shaking of the camera. And then... So this was the first scene that I came up with. This was like one of the last scenes that I filmed. This was the first scene that I came up with. I was at youth group, and I noticed that for Vacation Bible School that they were preparing for like a year ago. So like not this summer, but the summer before. My youth leader, who was like in charge of it, had all these planets that she spray painted from all these like giant beach balls. And I was like, that'd be so funny if I like ran away from one of those like Indiana Jones, which sparked this entire idea. So this right here, you have my youth leader Emily Laser to thank for that. Even though she didn't let me use one of the beach balls, so I had to buy my own. So I say I made Indiana Jones with $0. The beach ball actually cost me like $35, something like that. So it's technically I made it with $35, but who cares? And then I love having people in the background and stuff too. The scene where the ball was thrown up in the air, this ball was actually pretty light, and it went really high. Took forever to blow this thing up, and Brandon, the one who ends up like running next to me, which you'll see in a second, he's the one who actually threw that, which was awesome. We had to do that a bunch of times. And you can also kind of see someone chasing, like, someone rolling the ball from behind, which I tried having, you know, as much as I could, not having them there. That person, half the time it would be Brandon, the one who's going to run with me, and the other half the time it would be Luke, the one who was at the very beginning, being like, did you know that there's a treasure here? That guy. And so they were both really helpful in actually rolling the ball. I also thought it would be really funny if, like, you know, I could either run away from the ball in a straight line, or any direction I run, the ball just follows me just because, which is why I took the time to run on this curved path here with the ball chasing me like that. And you can kind of see that's Luke's head behind me.
Hey, man.
And then here's Brandon.
Oh, hey, I'm sort of running away from...
That's Cohen. By the way, upcoming awesome crazy video, hide and seek with 11 players between Stark and Cohen. So pretty cool, these two big buildings here. I'm getting a call. I'm gonna silence that real quick. Yeah, running away from a giant beach ball.
Oh, that's cool. I do cross country, and
I love how we just like randomly switch locations.
Pick your arms up some more.
Okay.
And get your knees up. Knees up. Feet straight.
I think this is so funny.
It's actually easier. Yeah, no, you're right.
Here's a little sad detail. Sad little detail. I planned this scene for one of my best friends, cause he's in cross country, you know, all this stuff, and then unfortunately, at the time that I was gonna go film this, he and I just weren't really on speaking terms anymore. So Brandon, I bring this up because, so like I said in the beginning, I tried getting everyone to do a role that like I thought they would like excel at, like amplify their own personality, which is why I thought it'd be really really cool to have, you know, my friend who's actually like super good at cross country do this. But it just didn't end up working out, which is sad. So I'm really glad Brandon was able to step in because I didn't know who he was before this day, and then he was friends with, I think, Tristan, and Tristan called him over or something like that. And so he's a true lifesaver here. But yeah, so kind of sad detail, but yeah, I made a new friend from all of it too, so it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. And Brandon did a phenomenal job. He's so good in this, by the way. He's so funny.
I don't want to take too much time from you, so I'm gonna get going.
I also one thing I love about the scene is we run past so many iconic places on campus. Like anyone who hasn't been to Wilkes has no clue, but anyone who's been to Wilkes can see like, oh, Cap'n Hall, like everyone has been there. Bryceth Hall, everyone has been there. Like, you know, all this stuff. So I just think it's pretty neat. And if I were to keep running right there, I would just run it straight into a building. I'd run straight into Stark. You can see right here, I just run straight into Stark, which is why it cuts there. And then this scene right here, when I was running away, right here. So I had to film this a couple times, and one of the scenes that was an outtake that I don't have in the blooper reel, I don't think. Someone, who I guess works at the Wilkes, Instagram page or something like that, I was like just for some reason recording me. And they were like, hey, do you mind? Or they asked if they could record. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. I don't care. So they recorded it. And they posted it on the Wilkes Instagram. Let me see if I can actually pull it up real quick. Wilkes Instagram. I just think it's so funny that they actually posted this on the Wilkes Instagram. I don't know why they did. This was last semester. There's a bunch of random stuff. Let me see. I want to find it real quick. I don't know where it would be on here. I remember its title. Oh, right here. By the way, they didn't even credit me. I went, that's me. You can see the full video on my YouTube channel, DaPieGuy, when it comes out. Which, like, cool and all, you know, I don't want to give myself, like, a self-promo or anything, but, like, they didn't say they were going to post it. I don't care that they posted it on Instagram. I just wish they would have, like, asked me, like, oh, hey, is there anything you want to say? But anyway, yeah, they said, they captioned it, at Wilkes you will have an adventure, because, like I said, the slogan is, at Wilkes you will. And, I guess that was pretty creative. I just think it's funny that they used my scene for that, just randomly, so. Anyway, cool little detail there. So I'm running away from the giant ball, and then finally over here, there were girls playing volleyball, and they actually had to wait for me to do this, and I felt bad, because I didn't even realize they were taking a break or something like that, and then I did this, and then I realized they were all, like, waiting to use the net, and I apologized to them. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize you guys were, like, doing this, and they were like, no, it's fine, that was really funny, and I was like, oh, thank you. So yeah, we had to film this a couple times. Oh, a couple people came up to me and asked for pictures with the giant ball and stuff. Like, some of them also wanted pictures, like, with me and them, too. But a lot of them were just like, oh, can I get a picture of, like, my son by the giant beach ball or stuff like that? And I was like, yeah, I don't care. So I just thought that was kind of funny. But, so one other thing is that I was supposed to have the treasure in this scene. Like, genuinely, I was supposed to have it. And then it wasn't until after we started recording that I realized that, like, I'm not holding the treasure in any of these scenes. And I was like, wait, how am I going to explain that? Am I just going to pull it out of my back pocket? Like, what do I do about that? And then that's when I had the idea for the scene where I'm like, oh my gosh, where's the treasure? Go to the Dorothy Dixon Dart Center. You can hear the megaphone. And I'm like,
Who are you disembodied voice?
God.
Really? No.
Okay, so here's Caleb again. If you remember, I said come back up. He's in the Christian Fellowship Club, which is one of the reasons why I wanted him to say this line, but that actually made him not want to say the line. He said that he didn't want to say it because he said, I don't want to impersonate God, or I don't want to, like, act like I'm God or anything. And I was like, well, no, it's just like a joke, like, you're not actually acting like you're God. And he was like, yeah, but I don't know if I feel like comfortable doing that. And I was like, well, you immediately say that, like in the video, you immediately say that you're joking. And he was like hesitant to do it, but he did it, and then he found it fun in the end, I think. Also, all the megaphone sounds are edited in just because the megaphone didn't have any batteries and we couldn't find any. So I edited all the sounds that he talks through the megaphone to sound like he's talking through a real megaphone. Oh, sorry, you were out of frame. I didn't see you.
Go to the dart center.
Okay. Yeah, all the megaphone sounds are edited in. So anyway, yeah, it was stolen by the treasure child. The treasure child stole your treasure, and of course I get to the dart center back where it all started, and you can kind of see in the background 2 people. This is Hannah. This is Mara. You'll be able to see them better. I know Hannah through Christian Fellowship Club, and I know Mara just through my normal friend group who I have most classes with, and we work on homework and stuff together.
To America's favorite game show.
And then this is Logan Carey, and everyone I've talked to says that they love how he did this whole thing. He did such a good job. He's so energetic and upbeat. So huge shout out to Logan for doing this. He graduated, so he wasn't able to come to a watch party I did with a bunch of my friends who were in this, but he did such a great job. Now, I'm going to skip through most of this because this scene goes on for a little while. But, you know, there's not a lot to say about it. Everything went pretty much as planned. I mean, a couple random bloopers and stuff, as you can imagine. But, so over here, you know, bloopers, took a while to get this all right and all that. Truth or Snake. So this part, I give a little bit in the credits. There's this place that's called, like something exotics.
Snake.
I don't remember.
So, now what?
Truth or Snake. I choose Snake. He puts a bag over my head. I walked into this exotic pet store that's like right next to campus, and I was like, hey, I'm filming a movie for Wilkes. Do you mind if I like hold a snake? And the guy was like, you want to hold 2? And I was like, yeah. And so that's how I filmed that scene, which I just think is so funny.
Why did it have to be snakes? I hate snakes.
And then all the rest of this is just like normal stuff. This round, Say a Thing, where we're just saying random words and things that sound like words I wrote in like 10 minutes. I was so tired. It was like 3 a.m., which you can kind of tell. But I think it's funny. Anyway, so we finally finish up here. And, the music. The music for this is a mix between, I think it's Shy Guys Finish Last from Paper Mario. I think that's from Paper Mario. Sniff It or With It theme, I think I used in here, I'm not sure. And also the Fairly Odd Parents, this is sort of a deeper cut. The Fairly Odd Parents music where Mr. Bickles or Mr. something like that, whoever the drama teacher is, whenever he's on screen a lot of the time, it'll play that song ba 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 ba. So that's what that is. That's Fairly Odd Parents. So I think that's so funny. So then this scene.
Treasure, but there's a lock on it. I think it needs a key.
I wonder if anyone on campus has the key. Okay, so basically this part was just like how, like, I have all these friends who I want to be in the video, but like they're so busy they don't have time, like, or just like people who are like kind of my friends I didn't really know super well at the time, but like I still wanted them to be in the video and all this stuff. And I was like, how can I give them all a part too, just so I can be like, oh, you know, all my friends are in this video. So I asked them all to just send me videos of them saying the word no.
I wonder if anyone on campus has the key.
I didn't even give any context.
No.
No.
No. No.
No.
By the way, right over here,
No.
No.
Oh, I should explain who these people are real quick. Okay, so that's Rebecca. She's just part of the friend group that I normally hang out with. Chris, he's again, all these people are my friend, but how I know these people, he was my math tutor for a while.
No.
No.
And then this is Rachel. Rachel, I think she graduated. But one thing, Rachel was a cameraman for like 5 minutes during the fight scene between me, Adam, and Jack with the car and all that. I don't remember if I gave her credits in the credit for that, but I gave her credit for this. She's a theater major.
No.
Chris, the whole reason, okay, Chris did not want any part in this, by the way. The whole reason why Chris agreed to do this was because I was bugging another friend, Scott, to do this. And Scott ended up not even doing this. And I was like, dude, just say the word no. And I was holding up my phone. I was like, just say the word no. And he said, I'm not saying that. I'm not participating in this. He wouldn't even look at me. And Chris went, bro, it's so easy. Just do it so he gets off your back. And Scott was like, I don't want to. Just because, I don't know, he just didn't want to for some reason. And then Chris went, look how easy it is. And he turned around and he goes, no. And he just keeps walking while I was recording that.
No.
So, and then this is Zach, a different Zach than the Zach from before. I haven't really spoken with Zach in a long time. He used to be in a couple of my videos. He was in the presentation night video. He was in the white elephant video. But, you know, he was more so friends with a couple other people I don't really hang out with much anymore. So, you know, but I'm really glad that he sent me this because, you know, it's nice to be like, you know, we're not really that close of friends anymore. You know, just kind of grew apart. But it's just cool that he's in this.
No.
So this is Casey Carroll. She is a theater major also. She's great. One thing, however, is that I asked everybody to send me the videos horizontal, and she sent it vertical. And then afterwards, I texted her, can you redo it and send it horizontal so it fits the aspect ratio of the screen? And then she left me on open, and I texted her again, and then she left me on opened again, and then she just never did it. So I just included this. But yeah, anyway, we're friends. We're friends. I know it doesn't seem like it.
No.
All right, so this is Anthony. Anthony's really funny. He's also a theater major. I know him because he was... I mean, I met him through other theater majors, pretty much. You know, he was close with other theater majors. He still is close with other theater majors, so...
No.
Yeah, and I became friends with theater majors because... I don't know. I just did. And so, then this is Jake. Jake, I know him through Reagan, who you'll see soon enough. No. He's dating Reagan. That was Maddie. And again, just another theater major. This is Emma here. No. She's in the main friend group. This is Stash. His actual name is Jacob, but everyone calls him Stash.
No.
And then this is Jesse, and Jesse is another theater major. And of course, I had to have him as last for him to go.
No.
Which I don't know why he went no just like that, but I just thought it was really funny. So no one on campus has the key. Also, I intentionally said no one on campus has the key so I could add to the no change because I thought it was a nice transition. And then as I'm trying to open it, this is Shiv, which you might know from a couple of my videos. Everyone on campus knows Shiv, and Shiv knows everybody on campus. Like, I don't think you could find a single person on my campus, freshmen included, who don't know Shiv. It's actually crazy. So, excuse me, Shiv is just one of my super close friends, and he knows nothing about Indiana Jones, just like me. And then he had two people who I didn't know. So this is Joe, this is Sanal. I didn't know them before this, and now they're my friends, and they've been in another YouTube video since then too, which it hasn't come out yet, but it's the hide and seek video, which is cool. It's cool that like I made so many friends and all this stuff from this. So anyway, this scene is so funny, and the talking and all that, and then me just like knocking Shiv out, which by the way, Shiv really tried getting out of that. Like, he really tried just, like, acting like... He was like, oh, can I just start by sitting down and then, like, I just, like, drop my head on the table? I was like, no. He goes, do I have to fall all the way on the ground? And I was like, yes. And he was, like, doing it halfway so much. And we were there for, like, 45 minutes just doing this one part. I was like, Shiv, I was like, we are not leaving until you just commit to this. And he was like, fine. So then finally I do it, and he just does this amazing fall. And then Joe and Sanal are great. It's nice seeing them. I love Joe's fall over here. Okay, my smart friend Reagan should know what to do. And of course, this is Reagan, the one I mentioned about earlier. We're not super close anymore. But yeah, I think that she's really funny. She did a really good job in this. Also, I say this is Reagan's room. This is actually my room. That's my whooper. That's my Mario hat. That's my keyboard. But,
Again, I have
she came over to help with this.
I need your help to find the key.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it just...
And then this whole part is basically just, like, I didn't have a cameraman for this part, because Reagan only had, like, 10 minutes to record, and I had to quickly throw on the costume and then do this. And then finally, over here, There's
gotta be a key for this somewhere.
Like magic, the map blows into my hands, and I love doing these little aversions where it's like oh, like that's so serendipitous, or like oh, so this is what's gonna happen now, or something like that, and then I just completely subvert expectations, and I'm like,
it's just like
I completely changed my mind about the map, which you'll know if you watch this. And then remember what I said earlier about pulling the treasure out of my back pocket? Well, I thought it'd be funny to actually do that after thinking about it longer, so which is why I randomly pull this giant water bottle out of my back pocket. I think Reagan delivered her lines here really good, by the way. Really well. I think she did a really great job here.
I kind of want to find the key first.
I thought you were the treasure hunter.
Yeah, well, it's like a long path. I didn't really want to follow it.
Okay.
It's like difficult.
Did you just have that in the back of your pants?
I think that's so funny. Anyway, so then carrying on. This is the statue I started at the very beginning, if you remember in the B-roll footage. And this is also the statue of John Wilkes, who's like, I guess, the founder of Wilkes University. And I really spent a lot of time. Let me make sure this is still going, by the way. Let me make sure this is still going, because I've been recording for a long time. I'm an hour and 20 minutes, because this is going to be a long video. But I really struggled with one part of this in particular. I was really having a difficult time figuring out what the treasure was actually going to be. I got a couple suggestions, like maybe the treasure is like a poster of the Indiana Jones thing, and then I release that publicly for people to buy, which I could totally do. I could totally release that for people to buy if people want that. I think that'd be cool. I just need to set up some online store. But if you guys are interested in that and you hear this, let me know. But there are a couple ideas floating around, or maybe it was like $1 million or $1 billion, or maybe it was like nothing. And I was like, well, I don't want it to be nothing. I don't want it to, because like I don't want it to be like I go on this huge treasure hunt and then the treasures are let down and it's like, okay, oh, the joke is that it was pointless. Okay, bye. But I also didn't want it to be like, oh, I found this crazy awesome treasure. Oh my gosh, it's $1 billion. Okay, bye. It's just like I was really having a difficult time finding a good way to end it. And then I had this idea of what if the treasure is like a really low amount of money, like in the pennies. Because that way, like it seems so pointless and meaningless, but at the same time I could be like, oh, well, at least I can use this towards my tuition or something like that.
What you actually hid.
Of course, when I open it up and I look inside and I count the money in it.
Actual treasure? 32, 3. It's like 34 cents in here.
It's like actually 34 cents. I definitely spent more than 34 cents making this video. Again, I love breaking the fourth wall here. And then I was going to end it basically by being like, well, hopefully blah blah blah, or I don't really know how I was going to end it, but I was like, hey, I think this is a pretty good idea for the treasure. But then I was filming the scene with Shiv, right? The scene with Shiv was like the last thing I had to film pretty much. When I saw, well, I mean, I'll let it play out here.
Dr. Kant, campus president. I found the lost treasure of Wilkes University.
The actual campus president. This is the actual campus president, Dr. Greg Kant. I was filming the scene with Shiv, and then right after we finished filming that scene, I saw Dr. Kant. Keep in mind, the actual campus president from all the way across the field, and so I just booked it over to him. I was like, Tristan, we cannot miss this opportunity. Like, we could get the actual campus president in this movie. And so I booked it over. I hightailed it over there. And he's a really nice guy. He's super funny. He's super cool. He's Australian, which is super cool too. But anyway, so I went up to him. I was like, Dr. Kant, hey, my name is Ryan Pykansky. I have a YouTube channel. I make YouTube videos, and right now I'm making a YouTube video about finding the long-lost treasure of Wilkes University, and I'm Indiana Jones. And I think it'd be so cool to have you as one of the characters in the movie. And he was like, oh, he was like, sure, when do you want to do that? He was like, because I'm pretty busy. I said, well, do you have like a minute right now? And he said, yeah, how long is it going to take? And I said, we can get this done in like 2 or 3 minutes, and then you can be on your way. And he was like, oh yeah, that's perfect. I can do it right now. So he asked what he needed to say, And I said, well, you know, the treasure is like 34 cents. You know, it's a really low amount. So maybe you could just be like, oh, you know, you just put it towards your tuition or just something along those lines because, you know, you're the campus president. I feel like it's pretty fitting that you say that. And he said, he was like, okay, so, you know, how exactly do you want me to say it? And I said, well, maybe you could say it in like a funny way, like, oh, anything to help with college tuition or something like that. Like the whole point was you hid this really low value treasure just like so that you could help someone with a little bit with tuition. And then he was like, yeah, I can do that. But then, so that's like all that, and he was supposed to give me a handshake, and that's all that we had planned.
34 cents.
And he did this.
Anything we can do to help with the high cost of tuition. Good luck.
I think him putting his hand on my shoulder and saying good luck is maybe the funniest joke of the entire movie. I think that's so funny, because it was unintentional, too. Like, because it really comes across as like, yeah, good luck paying off your tuition, which true, because college tuition is just inherently is just so expensive. But I just think it's so funny the campus president was like, yeah, good luck paying your tuition. I hope that this 34 cents helps. And then I just,
have a good one.
I gracefully accept it.
Indiana Jones had done it. He finally found
And then,
the lost
of
treasure
course-
at Wilkes University.
Actually, I completely finished the movie, and then this was just a black screen that would eventually fade to Tristan. But then we watched the whole thing, and Tristan was like, I love the whole thing. Because I watched it with Tristan before I watched it with anybody else. Tristan was like, I love the entire thing, except I don't like how it's just a black screen at the end. So then I went back, re-edited this part in, and had to completely, like, re-download and re-upload to YouTube and all this stuff, this whole thing. Again, before it came out public or anything like that.
And then they made a movie about it. And then they made another.
And of course I wanted Tristan's
And then
face
they
in the
made
video
another.
too, so
And then they made
I
another.
did this part. And as you can see here, I filmed this while I was in the middle of filming the blanket fort videos. I have 2 videos where I was in this giant blanket fort I did in my apartment. So Tristan came in during that and did the voice lines for this, which is so funny. And I think it all goes to show how many big projects I work on at one time. Like right now, I'm working on a giant hide and seek video, and I'm working on this big Total Drama Island video. It's just I just have a bunch of editing to do, and I have a bunch of other like random little projects, and new stuff pops up all the time, and I finish projects all the time. It's just so complicated, and then
they made
so
another
I'm just always busy with YouTube stuff.
Dude, why'd you make me read this?
We actually filmed it without him saying, dude, why'd you make me read this? And then I accidentally turned off the camera before he said the line, and I thought the line was funny, so we went back and re-recorded that with him saying, dude, why'd you make me read this? And then, of course, the credits. And as you can see, all the credits are here. I'll let this play out. I'll let it play out so everyone gets their deserved credit. But yeah, I mean, that's it. I think I went over pretty much everything about this movie. Goons. I like how I titled them Goons. Did I? Oh, I did credit Rachel. I did credit Rachel. Let's see. Yeah. I was worried that I forgot to do that. I'm glad I did credit her for her help on the camera work. CDE Exotics is the place with the snake. Oh, the scene, one other thing, the part with the game show, that whole scene, the reason I have special thanks to Lee Michaels is because he is the professor who works at the Dart Center, who gave me permission to use the stage. He was like, yeah, you can like reserve it for this time block, even though I'm not a theater student, because normally only theater students can do that. But he was like, yeah, this is a cool idea, you can do that, you know. And I was like, oh, thank you. So he helped me get everything set up and all that. So I really appreciated it. So I gave a little special thanks to him. Made by DaPieGuy. Please subscribe. Which also, yeah, please subscribe to. Oh, and I get ads now. So yeah, which like, also you should totally subscribe to this video, to this my channel from this. You know what I mean. But yeah, I mean, I know this is like an hour and a half of me just yapping, but I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got a little bit out of this. Again, this is not the normal content I normally make. Same with last week. You know, I've been super busy with crazy stuff. I know it seems like uploading an hour and a half long video is counterintuitive, but editing takes so long. So this is so much faster. I'm working on, like I said, a bunch of big projects, and so look out for those. Until then, I have more crazy stuff coming out next week, but I also just wanted to do this video in general because I thought it'd be fun. So let me know what you think. Let me know if there's anything you would have done differently or any suggestions you have for the next big movie in the comments down below, or just start a conversation. I'm always happy to respond to comments. So please subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate all the support you've given me so far, everybody. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So till next time. See you Sunday at 5 o'clock. That's not what I'm going to say. See you next Sunday at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace out, Epic Gamers.